Enigma before. Sorry, guys. Hello, I'm Enigma before, and here to bring you Talk for Glory, episode 145. We are just about, I want to say, barely 10 plus hours removed off of New Japan Pro Wrestling 2023 New Beginning. And what a new beginning it is for New Japan. Or rather, should I say, for the Bullet Club? Should I say a new beginning for Hikuleo? Should I say a new beginning for Jay White? Because as the title and the thumbnail shows you, here we are to talk about the match between the big little brother of the Tongans, Hikuleo, versus the catalyst of professional wrestling, the number one asset of all of professional wrestling, the man that single-handedly sold out Madison Square Garden and the United Center, the first ever IWG. What's up, DM? The first ever guy to hold the IWGP Heavyweight, IWGP Intercontinental, IWGP United States, never open weight, and the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, making him the real belt collector. He is the leader of Bullet Club. He is King Switch, baby. The man I am talking about is none other than Jay White. And here we are to talk about... One moment, guys. Jay White versus Hikuleo in a loser leaves Japan match. For you guys that don't know what a loser leaves... Actually, you guys fucking know what a loser leaves Japan match is. You leave Japan. What you didn't know, for most of you, or some of you, let me know some of your New Japan knowledge, trust me, I'll be impressed, is just like the first real rock and roller, Prince Devitt, now known as Finn Balor, he got kicked out of Bullet Club via loser leaves Japan match. So how ironic is it that the last rock and roller the last rock and roller, Jay White, loses a loser leaves Japan match. But I'm getting far too ahead of myself. Let's talk about that match. Let's talk about Hikuleo's growth, what this match does for him. This match had everything on Hikuleo's shoulders. Maybe that he can be the one that ends all of the Tongans' problems. For you guys that don't know, Jay White kicked out Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, God, Gorillas of Destiny out of Bullet Club. And since that day, Jay has had nothing but beef with the Tongans. It started with Tama Tonga. It didn't end up with Tongaloa, but it ended up on Hikuleo. So in this match, I want to say some of my favorite spots are hands down Jay White's able to sell. His ability to sell will always be 10 out of 10 for me, especially every time Hikuleo is moments away from hitting that chokeslam and Jay just flailing like, no. And he does everything from punching and kicking and even some limb targeting for the big little brother, the Tongan giant. And I did not notice this. Maybe I need to watch even more Hikuleo matches. I did not know how much of a badass of a power slam does Hikuleo have. I gotta watch out for those power slams because those things are a thing of beauty. I always say that Randy Orton has the best dropkick in the fucking business. And yes, that means he has a better dropkick than Okada. That means he has a better dropkick than Cody Rhodes. That means he has a better dropkick than Dolph Ziggler. But, Hikuleo might be top 3 best power slams I've seen. But back to what I want to say about this match and the limb targeting and the absolute genius that is Jay White. See, Jay White definitely came into this match confident as hell. And, that's how all people should be into everything that they walk into. But Jay White had a whole new form of confidence, especially the mentality of, there's no way in hell I can lose. It's Jay White. But I love the outside the ring work that Jay did with Hikuleo. Normally, I don't like watching big guys outside the ring because they're already slow in ring. So watching them outside the ring kind of bores me. But watching just Jay White target the ribs of Hikuleo, target the legs, making sure that Hikuleo didn't get as much offense as he did. Hell, even breaking him down to his size, smashing his head into the corner of the turnbuckles. Those were truly King Switch moments. And who the hell would have thought that they would see someone like Jay White dominating a giant? Also, speaking of Jay, I will never get tired of the 2 sweet chops where he just goes 2 sweet, damn, just chops. Those are just entertaining as hell. But speaking of character work in Jay White, although I said that he walks into this with confidence, he walks into it. There are a lot of things that change between the beginning, middle, and end. In the beginning, Jay walked into this confident. In the middle of this match, you sense the panic of Jay as he beats down Hikuleo's ass with a fucking chair. And that's one of my favorite things about Jay, where he just transitions this emotion, where he just has to win. He can be confident all he wants, but desperation will show its ugly, ugly face. And it definitely did here. I remember when Jay was trying to go for the Kiwi Crusher, or at least I thought it was going to be the Kiwi Crusher, but then it just turned into a Fisherman Buster. I didn't think that Jay had the strength to twist around Hikuleo. But the fact that Jay got Hikuleo up. Also, guys, we're not that long off of New Beginning. I highly recommend that you guys watch this match. It's a coming out party for Hikuleo that I now believe that maybe he should win some singles gold, some tag gold. I don't know what's going on with Tonga Loa, but if Tama Tonga ever goes back to the tag world, I think Hikuleo is the right choice of a partner for him. But all the talking Jay does throughout his match with Hikuleo, it just, how do I say this? It just screams that no matter what you do, what you say, what you feel, you won't get rid of me. Say what you will, but Jay did give Hikuleo everything while he can, while he could. Maybe Hikuleo wanted more. But I have to give credit where credit is due for Hikuleo taking in those chops, those chair shots. Jay running Hikuleo's head through the turnbuckle. All of these moments that just show Hikuleo will be a fighter, that he still has unfinished business in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I'm not gonna lie, Gato as Jay's manager was probably one of the coolest things to watch throughout this. Although we've seen it multiple times, you just see Jay dominating Hikuleo for quite some time. And Hikuleo, he's taking the hits. He's being a champ. He's being a trooper. And Gato's basically just telling Hikuleo, stay down. You're going to get your ass beat. And while Jay delivered some too sweet chops, Hikuleo just saying, I want more. I want more, damn it. Highlight for me for Hikuleo is not only him saying fuck you to Jay, but him chopping back Jay and Jay just dropping as if he just got shot. Or just punch in the face thinking, what the hell just happened? But, I believe within characters, there is personality that you would see outside the ring as well. So seeing Jay get chopped horribly, going, come on, motherfucker. It's insane the fact that the little guy is asking the giant to bring it. Jay was basically asking for Hikuleo's best. He didn't want half-assing. If he's going to get kicked out of Japan, he wants to know that he went down swinging. And Jay was eating these chops that Hikuleo was delivering. Maybe Hikuleo might need some chop lessons from Walter, because Jay, as a fucking champion, was eating them, bouncing off the ropes, coming back for more. Although I wish that the outcome was different, I will say that Jay gave it more than Hikuleo. And maybe, as Kevin Kelly once said, all it takes is 3 seconds to win. Maybe, just maybe, if this was a 2 out of 3 falls, maybe if this was an Iron Man. Wait, give me a second, guys. All right. God damn it. Be right back. All right. Maybe if this was an Iron Man match or a 2 out of 3 falls, just maybe, Jay White would have been the better man. But having Gato on Jay's side, Jado on Hikuleo's side, you really see who's turned over a new leaf, who's still stuck in their old wicked ways. I want to say I genuinely thought that Jay would have won after he low blows Hikuleo, because maybe all it took was that low blow, but unfortunately not. I do think that throughout, as the match was going, I believe it went, 25 minutes? I believe it went 25 minutes. And you could see Jay spiraling, thinking, what the fuck can I do to keep this man down? Unfortunately, actually, wait. This is my highlight spot. My highlight spot for this is Hikuleo going for the power slam, and just like Okada, Jay catches Hikuleo immediately like the Blade Runner, like the Rainmaker into the Blade Runner. Now a power slam into Blade Runner. Maybe all Jay should have done was pin him. Sorry, guys. It says my connection's bad. But guys, let's talk about two things. One, the iconic finish of the match, and that is Jay White slowly getting up and then turns around, chokeslam slams Jay White, but before the choke slam, you see Jay give one last too sweet, and Hikuleo gives it back right before the choke slam. 1, 2, 3. The Switchblade era is over. Now, before I go into detail about where I think Jay White will go, let's talk about some of the things that happened after. 1. Jay White returned as Switchblade, no longer the blue-eyed young lion. He challenged Hiroshi Tanahashi for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. And from that moment on, Tanahashi and Jay White were intertwined as Jay White became a Grand Slam by beating Tanahashi. So seeing Tanahashi and Jay White fist bump on Jay White's way out, it's a way of saying thank you. It's a way of saying I appreciate every time, whether you're my friend, my enemy, my rival. Thank you, Ace. Now, let's get into the big question. Similar to the early days of Talk for Glory, after myself and Young Smooth did a Wrestle Kingdom predictions video where we asked, where will Kenny Omega go after Wrestle Kingdom? Now it's time to ask, where is Jay White going after New Beginning? Where is Jay's New Beginning? Now, a lot of people have brought to my attention a little loophole of New Japan Pro Wrestling Loser Leaves Japan match. It just means he's out of Japan. Could we see King Switch, good old Jay White on New Japan Strong now? Who knows? Maybe he'll fight Darren Young. Yeah, no, he's not. Maybe he'll fight Tom Lawler. Actually, no, he has unfinished business with Eddie Kingston, New York's own. Myself, Young Smooth, we're from New York. So, we get the vibe of Eddie. But because we probably won't do a predictions on that U.S. show of New Japan, we probably have Jay White going for the win. But let's talk about some possibilities. Let's talk about what if Jay White was in, let's say, Impact Wrestling. He would be a belt collector by the end of the week. Probably beat Josh Alexander. I don't know who's X Division champion. He'd probably be teaming with your girl's favorite wrestler, the ultimate finesser, Chris Bay, and the inevitable Ace Austin. Those guys would probably run roughshod over TNA, Impact Wrestling, whatever you guys call it now. So now let's talk about possibly AEW. Jay White in AEW. We've seen some appearances by him. So is it too outlandish to think, oh, Jay's going to be in AEW? No, for multiple reasons. 1, he has unresolved issues with the likes of Kenny Omega. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's water under the bridge. Maybe it was just business on Jay White's side, beating Kenny Omega for the IWGP United States Championship. Jay White has some good friends in Adam Cole, baby. Maybe it's not an undisputed era, but a switchblade era in Adam Cole's future. I know a lot of people would like to see Jay White and Adam Cole tear it up on the mic, actually. We don't got to talk about match quality. Those two would kick ass. So you guys let me know in the comments now, later, whenever, if you would like to see Jay White versus Adam Cole. Or maybe you guys want to see something new. Maybe you want Jay White versus MJF. Jay White versus Darby. Jay White versus Chris Jericho. Or, and here's one. How about we get Jay White versus absolute underrated Ricky Starks? I know myself and many others are Ricky Starks fans, so to see him tear it up with King Switch, wouldn't that just be a moment? Or maybe he goes to the ROH side of AEW and he reunites with Rock Hard Juice Robinson, and they take over ROH, because not only is Bullet Club real, Bullet Club is for life. Say what you will, Bullet Club has been worldwide. Bullet Club has been in WWE with Carl Anderson as now the former never openweight champion. Bullet Club was in Impact Wrestling with Chris Bay and Inevitable Ace Austin. Bullet Club is in AEW with Juice Robinson, whether you guys want to count it as AEW and ROH or two separate things. And the home grounds, Bullet Club is New Japan Pro Wrestling. So not only is it real, for life, and worldwide, it's always going to be in your face. But I've talked about King Switch Jay White in Impact. I've talked about him in AEW. Where else can Jay White, the catalyst of professional wrestling, go? Where? Oh, wait. We all know where the perfect place for him, in my opinion, is, and that is the WWE. Jay White in the WWE can bring out the best in some of your favorites. And I remember myself and Young Smooth talked about this, where if he were to feud with and, say hi to good old Prince Devitt, Jay White would be a face. Who's to say, and it sucks that this is the reality, that the Good Brothers are only relevant whenever they're near a BC leader. So whether it be AJ, Devitt, Kenny, who's to say that Jay White doesn't show up on a Monday Night Raw, ask for backup, and you got Gallows and Anderson right behind him? Only problem is a babyface Jay. And as scary as you guys like to make it sound, this doesn't sound bad. Jay White versus The Miz in a promo battle actually sounds kick-ass to me. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say Jay White versus Roman Reigns. I'm not going to do that. What I'll do is I'll give you Jay White versus Cody Rhodes. I don't count Cody Rhodes as a Bullet Club leader, but I would love to see Jay White and Cody Rhodes go at it, nodding at their Bullet Club past because they just missed each other. Right before the Cutthroat era, the Switchblade era, it was the Elite era. A lot of wrestling fans got into New Japan around the Elite era. So what happens when Switchblade meets Elite, when Rhodes meets King? But be all and end all, Jay White, congratulations on your luxurious career in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Again, guys, go listen to our Talk for Glory Wrestle Kingdom 2019 video. I, myself, Enigma V4, was one of the first to say Jay's going to be running wild. I said that he would beat Okada. I said that he's going to be world champion. I said that he's going to be doing big things one last time. Former IWGP Heavyweight Champion, former Never Openweight, former US, IC, World Heavyweight Champion, the real belt collector. All in a short 5 to 6 years, Jay White's career, say what you will, and I'll even say this one too. Jay White had a better career than Kenny Omega in New Japan, and dare I even say better than Will Ospreay when it comes to accomplishments. Jay White may not be the belt collector worldwide, but, and before I say this, I want to say thank you to everyone that's listening, everyone that's going to listen. Before I give my final words, guys, always make sure that you follow myself and Young Smooth on our socials. That being Enigma underscore V4 underscore. That is my Twitter. Young Smooth TFG. That's Young Smooth Twitter. Also, guys, speaking of Young Smooth, just reminding you, don't get too used to seeing me by myself. This is just due to time. Young Smooth will be with me a lot more, especially because it's the road to WrestleMania. And neither himself or you guys want to miss out on Young Smooth on the road to WrestleMania. But my Instagram is Enigma period V4. My TikTok, Enigma underscore V4. And if you guys haven't already, join our Discords. Follow us on Spotify. It's a Tough Floor miniseries. I just did a video with JC Pentagon discussing WWE 2K23. So if you guys haven't already, go listen to that whenever you can. But back to what I was saying. He may not be the belt collector. He may not be... Hell, he may not even be King Switch. It might not even be his destino to stay in New Japan. But one thing is for certain. Wherever he goes, it is the Switchblade era. Jay White will excel and rise to the top of any promotion, whether it be now, later. It's inevitable. And guys, I see that. God damn it. You know what, guys? You guys have heard the Talk for Glory backgrounds, cars passing by. It's whatever. But guys, you guys have seen the growth of young lion Jay White. Now, are you ready to see Jay White's evolution outside of New Japan Pro Wrestling? Because I sure am. But another thing that should probably come up here is what is going to happen to what I want to say one of the most legendary factions of the modern era. And when I say modern, I mean 2010s and up. And that is what is going to happen to the Bullet Club. You know, we've had leaders after leader after leader. We've had the originator, Prince Devitt. We had the second coming, the phenomenal era being AJ Styles. Then we had the elite era with possibly what many would like to say the greatest wrestler. We had the elite era being Kenny by God Omega. And then we come to the Switchblade era, the Cutthroat era. What's next? Whose era is it next? Is it Kenta? Is it Chase Owens? Is it the House of Torture, if they still count as Bullet Club? But no. You know whose era I think it is? And also, I want to debunk this. If you guys want God back in Bullet Club, that's great and everything. Me personally, I actually like them out of Bullet Club. It shows who they are now. In Thomas Singles run, I'm still running with it. But who should be the new leader of the Bullet Club? It's quite simple. It should be the second coming of Devitt. It should be... One moment, guys. All right. Okay, now I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. But back to what I was saying, who should be the new Bullet Club leader? It should be the second coming of Devitt. It should be the second coming of the Light Up Jackets. Instead of RNR, it should be ELP, El Phantasmo, especially now that he's a heavyweight too. Guys, I will leave you with that the next Bullet Club leader should be the headbanger, that it should be El Phantasmo. So one more time, guys, my socials, Enigma underscore V4 underscore on my Twitter, Young Smooth TFG, Enigma period V4 on my Instagram, and then Enigma underscore V4 on my TikTok. Actually, guys, just type out Enigma V4. Trust me, I'm literally the only Enigma V4 out there. And also, thank you guys that are following me, that are messaging me, giving me your thoughts, giving me your questions about all this. But with all that being said, thank you, King Switch, ELP for next leader. And above all else, stay safe, have a great day and or night, and enjoy wrestling.